Wow. Wow, what a sight, huh?
Lots of
I
folks
suppose
out here.
that and this is what a pseudo-Californian like me ought to call way cool. Is it cool, Debbie, or?
Cool.
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 Cool. Way cool. Well, I'll probably get the hang of this sometime. Well, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Come on, what the hell, you know? Okie dokie. Well, I'm Mick Dungworth, and I know that many of you will already know that, so this is non-information, because I guess I've been kind of tramping around here for the better part of 15 years, so if you haven't seen me lately, that's because immediately post-acquisition by SGI, I was deported promptly from Minnesota, from the People's Republic of Minnesota in Eagan, out to the golden state of California. And I now live near the Pacific Ocean in a wonderful place called Mountain View. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I come to the party with a pretty strong sales and service background, and I now head up customer service for the entire merged Cray and SGI enterprise. Thank you.
And I'm Debbie Sparkman. I'm a new face around here. Some may say an in-your-face new face from SGI. And now you guys are lucky I'm in Chippewa. My background's manufacturing, and what I bring to the picture is high-volume production, and I'm here to help our company get ready for the growth we're expecting in the future.
Now, we want to be sure to give a really warm welcome here to everybody, and in particular to those folks who travel here from Eagan, from the field, or from Mountain View, specifically to be a part of this celebration. So, a little bit of audience participation here. Let's ask all the folks from Eagan to stand up. If they've not been drinking too much from Eagan, please stand.
Yay!
Round a Chippewa welcome for Eagan. All right. Come on, guys. Software is part of the product. Okay, and let's see if we get any people from the field here. We supposedly have, so I'd ask anybody from the field to please stand. Now,
I thought they were supposed to be selling products.
if you're from the field and you're in customer service, I'd just like to remind you, we do have a logistics system. You don't have to pick up the spares yourself, you know. We're better than that. Right. And now let's welcome those who've traveled all the way from Mountain View to sample the delights of the rural upper Midwest. If you're from Mountain View, please, on your feet, let's go. And I have one more thing to say. And finally, then this is not scripted, so I'm ad-libbing this. I know that there are at least 2 sets of customers here today. This is such a big crowd that I can't tell if they're out there, but just in case, we have Pittsburgh Supercomputer Center and Department of Defense Waterways. Both those sets of customers are here today, so let's just give them, our customers, a big round of applause.
You know, it's really wonderful that we're all here today to celebrate the merger of 2 great innovative companies, and of course to have a heck of a lot of fun. Yes.
So Debbie, how are you adjusting to the move from California to Chippewa?
Well, you know, Mick, I have to say, it sure is different out here, but so far I like it.
I guess that's because she's not been through winter yet, huh?
I hear about them, though. So, Mick, did you have a good trip back?
Well, I can tell you, Debbie, the flight from California to here was just a little bit shorter than my commute from work to home every day, you know. I lose many hours of sleep and working time every day just being on the road.
Well, you know, Mick, that's the beauty of having voicemail and a car phone. That's when I would return all my calls when I was in Mountain View.
Voicemail. No, thank you. The last thing I want to do when I'm stuck in a traffic jam in 95-degree temperatures is listen to some character who's hyped up on designer coffee, give me a 27-minute emotional diatribe. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I much prefer a nice, neat, concise, well-crafted email message that's there when I finally, eventually get to my desk.
Concise. You call a 27-page email with quotes, forwards, attachments from the person in the next cube concise communications? I don't think so. If you want to tell me something, just come over and talk to me, pick up a phone, but I don't need War and Peace. No, no.
Well, obviously we differ on this issue.
And I'm sure we do on some others too. So if we're having so much trouble communicating, how do we find one way for both companies to communicate?
Well, you know, seems to me that blending two corporate cultures together is a bit like a marriage, you know. Sometimes it works and sometimes it needs work.
Yep, that's what your wife says.
Oh, a low blow there, huh? That's terrible.
Oh, but I like you so much.
So anyway, to help us in this marriage of cultures, I brought along all the way from California with me a pair of counselors.
Hey, hi everybody. How are you? Hi.
Hey?
It's okay.
We're doing okay, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're doing okay.
Wow.
That's a friendly audience.
This reminds me of the old days. Yeah. Hey, you look like this 20 years ago. What do you mean? 30? Hey, it's great to be here in Chippewa Falls. I'm Sonny, and this is Cher. Hi. Well, I guess most of you know that Cher and I haven't been together for quite a while.
Sonny, they haven't been living in a cave.
Well, we got back together again because of this great merger between Cray and Silicon Graphics. That's right. Yeah, I mean, together they're going to become a dominant force in the high-tech industry. They're going to control the marketplace, right? Yeah! And they're going to open up whole new areas of technology.
Oh, Sonny, quit sucking up. You're not going to get any votes here.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to get votes. I mean, half the people at Silicon Graphics aren't old enough to vote.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, well, anyway, through my friends in Washington, I got a job at Cray in Chippewa Falls. Yeah, and they got me this Leinen Kugel t-shirt. Ain't it cool? Yeah, party.
Yeah, and Steven got me a job working at SGI headquarters in California.
Steven? Is that one of your ex-husbands?
No, Steven Spielberg, you chiphead.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, we're so happy about being back together again and Silicon Graphics and Cray being together that, well, we wrote a song about it.
Oh, shut up. Just let me sing the song, Sonny, eh?
Go ahead.
Well, they say we're young and we don't know how to make our high-end market grow.
Well, I don't know if all that's true, 'cause you bought Cray, and that means now you do. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I'll tell him, Cher.
Well, Cray computers get real high ranks, even though they always look like tanks.
Well, the hours you work seem fanatical, but I sure do love that long sabbatical. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Will you and I, we really could make mega deals with Hollywood.
I sure do love merging with Cray, 'cause now I can sell to the CIA. But there's one thing that kind of hurts, being seen with guys who wear plaid flannel shirts.
Well, you may think that I'm too slow, but I can still do it at 40 below. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Well, I got T90s just for you.
I got the wine for your cheese fondue.
Well, I got Chippewa Falls and I got Bo.
I got Fast Eddie for my CEO.
Well, I got supercomputers for you.
And I'll show you how to sell more than two.
Well, I'll build them big and you'll sell them fast. Together we'll kick some big blue
Got
you, babe. I got you, babe. Bye-bye, Chippewa Falls, we love you. Go out there and kick some butt.
So what have we got, babe?
Well, besides each other, I suppose we got to introduce the next speaker.
Good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to present the head of Cray Research, Mr. Bo Ewald.
Well, I don't know about this stuff following Sonny and Cher. Give me a break. Ah, jeez. Well, I'd like to add my welcome, and it's really great to see everybody here. It's almost unbelievable to see everybody here. You go on forever. I was really pleased when folks stood up to see the terrific turnout from Chippewa, of course, from Egan, the field, and of course we have 2 big customer visits going on today that we've participated in already this morning. So it was great, and I think it's really important for us to come together right now and for us to have some fun, but to look to the future and really get prepared for moving ahead from here. Because it, by God, is time to get on with it and move on from here. Yeah, it really is. So why are we here? Why are we getting together and spending all this money and doing all of these things? Well, as you'll remember, we had a little thing happen about 6 months ago that we announced. And in fact, that was the merger. And so today we're celebrating the completion of the merger and frankly, time to move on and get to the future. This has been going on for several months now, and I know many of you have had feelings just like I have of some, anxious moments, some sadness about the old Cray, but also a lot of excitement about where we're going to go. So really it is time now to say thanks for all of the work and the dedication that you have all had to both Cray Research and Silicon Graphics over the last few months as we've gone through this transition period. So we want to say thanks, formally say thanks for that, but also say thanks for what we're going to do together in the future and time to move on. And together, we're going to be the leader in high-performance technical computing. Let there be no question about that. Cray has always been the leader. Cray started right here in Chippewa Falls. We're going to continue here in Chippewa Falls. Produce it. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, let's get fired up. Producing the best, highest performance computers in the world, or the solar system, or the universe, or however you want to count it, that's going to be us. And as you can see here, we do have different cultures. You're going to see some evidences of that. And part of the idea today is for the Cray folks to get a little more familiar with the Silicon Graphics culture, and vice versa. And again, there are a few differences. You know, we're more of the yeah, sure, you betcha type. And this terminology of like totally extreme, dude, we're going to have to learn that right here in Chippewa Falls. And flannel shirts, yep, we use flannel shirts for warmth. I've also heard them called in out in Mountain View last spring, hey, that's a way cool shirt, dude. And there are also some generational differences, as we just heard. Sonny and Cher reminded me of Woodstock. Many of you will remember Woodstock as an event. Some of the Silicon Graphics folks only think it's a little bird who's Snoopy's friend. What we're trying to do, frankly, is take the best of both cultures and put them together. We're not trying to create an average culture. We're trying to take the best of both cultures and put them together. And from our side, what Cray is going to learn from the Silicon Graphics culture is to move faster, to look outward more, to be able to be more flexible. So quick, flexible, fast to market, those sorts of things. And SGI is going to learn from us customer commitment, long-term customer focus, long-term relationships with customers, 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week care of customers, really customer-focused things. When we take the best of each culture and put those together, there is no question that we're going to have the best in the world. And beyond that, from the SGI side, we're going to learn about T-shirts. T-shirts for all, right? I think that's one of the models. Maybe just a couple of words about why this merger makes sense. And I was talking earlier this morning, we had a big event where we handed over the keys. We haven't handed over the computer yet. We still have to ship it, but the keys to the first T3E to the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center. And in talking with those folks today, you know, what I'm really struck by is how our customers use our computers, and they use them for insight. And that's what this merger really is about. In the end, is to provide our customers with better insight. And that insight will come by combining the best of the simulation tools, and Cray has been the best at the high-performance simulation tools in the world. Silicon Graphics has been the best at the mid-level of the simulation tools. By combining those simulation tools with the best of the visual tools to be able to visualize these simulations and therefore provide better insight. And I've also discovered what the initials SGI stand for from the customer's perspective. The I clearly stands for insight. The S is for simulation, that's most of us. The G is for graphics or visualization. So simulation plus graphics equals insight, and I frankly think that's what the combined companies are about, is providing better insight for our customers. And that's insight for the technical world and insight for the commercial world. We're going to go after any and all customers, we're going to attack the market, and we're going to be extremely successful. The possibilities, frankly, are endless. We've already seen some great successes. Raytheon E-Systems selecting our combination systems. The big DoD modernization programs. In fact, one of those customers here today, we're looking at T3Es. McDonnell Douglas, a great combination of servers and visual tools going there. And there's going to be a really big one announced at the end of the month, and I'm dying to tell you what it is. And it's going to be bigger than that puny little IBM announcement the other day. But you're going to really look forward to this one. And when you see that, what you'll see is that that customer is betting in a big way on the things that we can do together, on the S and the G to provide them with better insight. What I also find that we're really trying to do is put the passion that both companies have together. And that passion goes around technology, being the leading technology companies in the world, and it goes around being leaders. I mean, that, again, is what we're here to do, to be the leaders in the world. So we're going to apply that passion and those skills and the drives everywhere from Nintendo games up to combating human diseases, finding cures for cancer, how to attack cancer, how to help with common cold, all of those things, all the way to going to the stars. So again, passion, I think, is the name of the game here for us as we move ahead. And we're going to be able to take supercomputing to much higher levels than it's ever been taken before. We're going to be able to create the future. We're going to be able to create new materials, new ways of doing things, not just new computers, but insight into being able to do those. And in moving ahead, you'll see us coming together around a shared product vision. And you'll hear some about that in just a second. But we're going to take the best of the vector computers, the best of the highly parallel computers, and put those together with the best of the SMP machines and our software and the best of the visual tools to create solutions to critical problems, problems that people really need to have solved, things that people can't even imagine trying to attack today. So together, SGI and Cray is and will be the most powerful computing company in the world, bar none, and together we can shape the future. So, before we get on with the future, we're going to have some fun today. Have a great day. I've got to go back and do a little more work, but we'll see you around maybe later this afternoon. Thanks.
Bo mentioned cultural differences. There are a few of them, aren't there?
Well, we communicate differently.
Yeah, voicemail, it's better. You know, we also party differently.
Well, we'll be fixing that pretty damn soon, huh? This town knows how to party, I can assure you of that. But, you know, for me, one of the differences is that we office differently.
You know, on that note, I do have a little present for you here.
What on earth is this? What a hell of a present, huh? What is it?
It's the office door from my office. I took it off the first day I moved in. You know, I work much better when I have lots of interruptions. You know, it's a California thing. I hear you're not liking the cubes out in Mountain View.
Well, the problem is with my voice, it's not whether I like the cube, it's whether my next door neighbors like me in the cube, you know. So, haven't they ever heard of privacy?
Right, but we call it privacy. Besides, if you want privacy, all you need to do is eat the right cheese, a little Lufess for breakfast, and boy, you got all the privacy you need.
Do I detect that you're having trouble with the local food, Debbie? Trouble adjusting to it? I guess I had some problems when I first came out here, but I have to say that right now out in California, I'm really enjoying the ability to get sushi anytime I want it.
Well, you know, Mick, we have sushi here too. They call it bait. You know, I guess food is different from different regions and cultures.
Well, that's really true. In my various travels around the world, I'd have to say you could always tell something about the local culture by visiting a restaurant or two.
Ah, so let's imagine Cray and SGI as two different restaurants. What would they be like?
Welcome to the SGI Starshine Cafe. Over 10,000 served out of the box. And that's just this month. My name is Dot.com. May I take your order, please? No, wait, I love this song. Okay, all right. I'm psyched. All right, great, thanks. So what'll it be? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack? Coffee. Excellent choice. Will that be espresso, cappuccino, mocha, latte, macchiato, or our special triple espresso drink, the Power Challenge? Bet you can't drink just one, so what'll it be? Come on, man. I gotta get your order in before the end of my quarter, okay?
Well, hi there. No, you betcha. We're still open, yeah. 1 minute before 5, you just made it. Yeah, come on in, have a seat, right. Hi, my name's Jan. Oh, no, you can call me John. Yeah, that's easier. Well, welcome to the Cozy Cray Coffee Corner, where we believe if we cook it, they will come. Yeah, yeah. Well, have a seat. Can I get you something to drink? A Kappa Hui? No. We just serve coffee. Yeah, yeah. Good, strong American coffee. Uh-oh. That's one of those dang Wisconsin mosquitoes. Wait a minute there. Ah, got him. You know, some say they seen a flock of these take down a Cray. Now, don't you believe it, though. Nothing can take down a Cray. Nothing. Yeah. You know, I remember back in '87 when we were just... Huh? A menu. Oh, yeah, right, you betcha. I'll be right back. You wait right there.
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot on the menu. You should have seen it last week. Oh, yeah, it was totally different. It changes daily, sometimes hourly. Why don't you take one of each? Sorry, that's not on the menu anymore. Well, actually it is, but now we call it a special. Maybe I should tell you about our specials. We do a nice Boeing burger, and we design the whole thing ourselves. How about if I throw in some Ford fries? We design those also. Yeah, we design the whole menu ourselves. Well, no, we don't actually make anything on the menu. We just visualize it. Okay, one Boeing burger and a power challenge. Coming right up. There it is. And here you are, next in line.
So then, have you made up your mind yet? Oh, no, I don't want to rush you now. You're the customer, and the customer's always right. Yeah, you just take your time. I know it's an important decision. Yeah. Huh? Oh, yeah, right, there's only 3 items on the menu. I know that, yeah. I tell you what, you know, between you and me, I don't even know why we bothered to print them up. Leave it to those guys in marketing, huh? Yeah. They gotta have something to do, right? Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, the prices. Well, yeah, 30 million may be a little steep, I tell you, but I tell you what, if we feed you here, the service is great, the portions are huge, and you may never have to eat again for many years. You know, I tell you what, I might recommend that their T90. Oh, yeah, it's super. Yeah. Oh, no, take your time. I know it's an important decision. But while you're ruminating there, let me just tell you that everything here at the Cozy Cray Coffee Corner is made right here on the premises. It's right. Our kitchen started in 1972, and they've been bustling ever since. Of course, we didn't get our first meal out till '76, but, you know. I tell you, those were the glory days, though. I remember. Oh, you're ready to order then? Are you sure now? Take your time. It's an important decision.
Well, what do you mean? You have like a problem with the size of your order. That is a super size. No additions or substitutions, man. Come on now, move along. The sale's closed, dude. Servers? Oh, we don't do servers. Didn't you see the sign? We reserve the right to refuse servers to anyone. It's a joke. Hey, where are you going? Come back. Oh, man, you're bumming my whole sales cycle. I thought we had a relationship, man.
Okay then, let me see here. That'll be 1T90. Okay. Oh, you're gonna love that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you want mayo on that? All right. Mustard? Now, do you want French's or Dijon? Okay, right. A tomato? Roma or beefsteak? Okay. Lettuce? Romaine or bib? Oh, no, it's no problem. We want you to have it your way. Yeah. And no, I'm sorry, it only comes on white bread. Yeah. Okay, that'll be 1T90. I'll just turn this order in to our kitchen, to Jan. He's my brother. Yeah. And, well, we'll have this for you in about, 2 or 3 months. Well, no, I mean, hey, we can only make one super meal at a time here, you know. And besides, we're closing for deer hunting season. Well, wait a minute. Oh, come on now. Where in the HE double hockey sticks do you think you're going now? Oh, hi.
Hi.
Kind of a rough day, huh?
You could say that.
You know, I'd give anything to do the kind of volume that you do over there at the SGI Starshine Cafe, I tell you.
Yeah, and I sure wish we could sell those custom Super T90s that you guys got. Talk about a big ticket item.
Oh, yeah. I bet you we could teach you youngsters a thing or two about this business.
Yeah, well, I bet we could teach you cheeseheads how to get pumped, stoked, and totally outrageous.
Well, that sounds like fun. I think. You know what? Why don't we just open a place together?
Yeah. With your super meals.
And your marketing.
And your great customer service.
And your advertising.
We could put those other guys out of business.
Yeah! Wait a minute, maybe we ought to hire some consultants and do a study first. I think that would be the best thing to do.
No way, man. We gotta move fast, be flexible, and take risks.
You know, you're right. Let's do it. We could become the best dang business in this city.
This city? How about this state? How about this country? Why, you and me together, we can reshape the world.
Reshape the world. But you know, it's after 5 now, so, yeah. Why don't we just meet for coffee in the morning and talk about it?
Oh, no way, man. It's happy hour. How about you and I go talk about this over some brewskis?
Okay, now you're making sense. Yeah.
Hey, they like brewskis too, huh?
Yeah.
And you know what?
Huh.
I know a wonderful microbrewery that serves a killer triple bean cherry cream pumpernickel stout.
I'll stick with a liney. You might like it too.
You betcha, I'll have one too.
You know, this could be the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Well, here's looking at you, kid.
Well, nobody in Mountain View calls me kid, I must admit. That's not a phrase that I hear used where I'm concerned. I used to think that McKinsey and their 12-year-old PhDs were pretty bad, but man, they're not a patch on Mountain View. Anyway, all this talk about food has given me an appetite.
Okay. Somehow I can really believe that, but since the buffet lines are closed, I guess the only thing you have to chew on is this next presentation.
Well, then let's order it up. Here's the next the next speaker. The next speaker, let me please introduce our Chief Technology Officer, Vice President of Research and Development, Mr. Forrest Baskett.
Greetings. It's really great to be here. Personally, I'm really thrilled to be working with Cray again. My first machine with a Seymour Cray background was when I was a student, supporting my education by writing software for a Serial 13 of the 6600. After that, my next experiences were with Serial 1 and Serial 3 of the Cray 1 at Los Alamos. So Cray products and Cray people and Cray technology have been a major shaping influence on my professional life. So I'd like to talk a little bit about why we're doing this here today. As we initially got together, we talked about what our directions were. And as Cray unfolded their directions and SGI unfolded their directions, we realized that the directions were practically identical. And we realized that it would be a lot easier to get there together rather than independently. And so, what is this all about? It's about leverage of a very broad span of compatible products. Leverage about common development. It's leverage. Together, we're a stronger force in the competitive battlefield. Leverage. It's going to be easier to pioneer at the high end if we have a broader volume product line to trickle down to. So what does this mean? i.e., how do we do it? 1, compatible products, common components, common subassemblies, common subsystems, common systems, common compilers, common operating systems, common libraries, common tools. For compatible products, compatible software, early on, sometimes this means common source code. In other cases, it'll mean common APIs early on and common source code later. For common development, we already have an integrated hardware development team for the SN1. We've co-developed the project objectives between Mountain View and Chippewa Falls. We've divided up the responsibilities, and we're charging forward in Chippewa Falls and Mountain View. We have a joint plan for common I/O subsystems in the SN1. It's an exciting plan that leverages both GigaRing and Crossbow subsystems. We don't yet have a common integrated hardware development team for SN2, but we're working on it, and we need to have that. We do have common objectives in a plan for a common operating system. We haven't explicitly divided up the work, but we're getting there. We know what we need to do in general on the compiler's front, and we're working on the details. We've got prototypes of the Mountain View file system running in Egan. And we've got prototypes of Egan storage management software running in Mountain View. Now, these things are exceeding outside expectations. And that's because we've got great engineering teams on both sides. So we're really getting there. As we go forward, what is the technological framework that will guide our thinking and our decision making? We've got great strengths in Chippewa Falls, great strengths in Egan, and great strengths in Mountain View. And our first priority is to maintain those strengths that are consistent with our combined company. Those combined strengths are much greater than just the sum of the parts. For example, we want the ability to build high quality, highly reliable hardware and software for which Chippewa Falls and Egan are famous to become a strength in Mountain View too. We've got to get Mountain View to put as much engineering into quality as you all do. Conversely, we've got to get you to put as much engineering into cost control as Mountain View does. We can do both. There's no doubt that we've got the combined engineering talent to do both. For example, look at what we've already accomplished with SN1. One of the exciting aspects of the SN1 design is the low parts count. Can a 2 or 4 processor version of that design be a true desktop supercomputer that succeeds in the marketplace? Yes, it can, and yes, it will. Can the same components be used to build a 4,000 processor system? Yes, they can. Yes, they will. So what are the principles here? Leading edge architectures and leading edge designs based on volume technologies, for example, CMOS. Leading edge versions of what we truly believe will become volume technologies, for example, in packaging, in cooling, and interconnects. Continuing to work very closely with the best semiconductor partners in the world. The most scalable software systems on the planet, operating systems, compilers, tools, applications. Tightly integrated engineering teams spanning our geographical boundaries. There are probably some non-principles in here too. One that comes to mind is independent subsidiary. This operation is not about independence. It's about interdependence. We've already proved that we can do it on some projects. And now we've got to prove that we can do it on all projects. For example, when our high-end system designers in Chippewa Falls work with our microprocessor designers in Mountain View, they will also have to work with our low-end Indy-class system designers so that the high-performance features that we need for the high-end is in a form that also leverages the low-end without being an unsustainable cost burden. This isn't easy, but it is doable. And it's an incredibly winning strategy in the marketplace. Price is an object. No one will pay more than $40 million for a single system these days. But people do want a 4,000 processor system. Now, what does that mean? It means designing big systems with a per processor price of $10,000 or less. It means supercomputers at PC prices. That's what we have to accomplish. Is this going to be an easy thing to do? No. The challenge is huge, and the budgets are tight. We have to figure out how to solve these problems with the people that we've already got. Collectively, we're certainly smart enough. But can we leverage each other enough? That's the challenge. We can't do it with brute force. Brute force on the people front is not possible because it blows our budgets. Brute force on the technology front is not possible because it blows our price and profitability targets. So we need finesse. Finesse on the people front means learning how to save the costs of redundant engineering without duplicating those costs in coordination. Finesse on the technology front means succeeding with shared technology for the low end and the high end with shared goals. Do we have issues? Boy, do we have issues. So let me be upfront about some of our current engineering issues. In hardware architectures, we've got parallel vector processors versus scalable nodes. In the hardware and programming models, we've got message passing versus shared memory, memory bandwidth versus caches, vectors versus scalars. In the software front, we've got Unicos versus IRIX and Nexus. We've got Cray compilers versus Mongoose. On all these engineering issues, I think we're doing really well. These are tough problems, and we're making steady progress. And we're actually doing best of breed across all of these issues. We've got staffing issues because of tight budgets. Too much to do, not enough people. Now, I've been at SGI a long time, and we've always had this problem. And I've been proud of what we've been able to accomplish, how much we've been able to do with the people that we have. It's been awesome. So resource sharing, coordination across geographies. This is new territory for us. There's lots of room for innovation, lots of rooms for screw-ups too. We need to hear your ideas. We've got cultural issues. Mick and Debbie have already talked about these, just had a great skit about them, and they're real, but we're getting to know each other. So, is it working? In lots of cases, it's really working. It's working great. We recently had a joint visit, Cray and SGI, with the San Diego Supercomputer Center people. At the end of the visit, Sid Karen, head of the center, said it was the very best visit he had had with either SGI or Cray. He was thrilled. Earlier this week, Irene Qualters and I were visiting a really big customer, the one that Bo referred to obliquely earlier today. And that customer said one of the major reasons that we were their preferred supplier in the future, in addition to our awesome technology, was that we had a business model that leveraged our high-end technology into volume markets. They didn't believe that a high-end supplier could survive without that plan. Now, not only are we going to survive with that business plan, we're going to thrive and we're going to dominate. Thanks a lot.
So Mick, are you amazed at how energetic the people at SGI are?
Well, yeah, but I'm kind of more amazed at the things they can do with rings, you know. It's not just like in their ear, but maybe in the nose, in the lips, in the belly button.
I see you haven't gone that Californian yet.
Well, they don't always show, you know, Debbie.
Ooh, that must have hurt.
Not if you take the anesthetic. But I'd say the most amazing thing about being around the people from Mountain View is not just their energy, it's the constant state of their energy, the high level of energy that they sustain. These people just never stop. I remember when it was like that around here at one time.
You know, I think that can-do attitude still exists here. Yeah, you tell them. It's just a little buried. All we need to do is recharge it.
Yeah, we just got to focus on the future.
So I got to ask you, Mick, so what do you think the future's going to be like, say, 20 years from now?
Well, we're a visualization company, so let's visualize the future.
Good evening, this is Headline News, bringing you the news when it happens, where it happens, if it happens. August 15th, 2016. King Harry of England decreed today that his mother, ex-Princess Diana, stop whining and get a job. President Hillary Clinton admitted today she is the president, show some respect. President Hillary Clinton admitted today from her summer residence at the Whitewater White House that her husband, Vice President Bill Clinton, actually did inhale. I always knew it. In the world of entertainment, Arnold Schwarzenegger announced today that he would not return to his starring role in the latest Terminator movie, T-14. Hollywood sources give the inside track to a Bo Ewald. He certainly has the chest for it, I'll tell you that right now. And they cited his powerful performance in the mega hit T3E. Oh, this top local story just in. The Mountain View Group returned to their offices today after a 2-week evacuation to Egan. The earthquake occurred within 1/10,000th of a nanosecond of the time predicted by the SN-10000 cyber vector. That's right, this new supercomputer is being marketed worldwide as the Puce. Excuse me. That's right, the puce, which was the only color remaining in the spectrum not already attributed to a silicon graphic product. I'm glad they didn't use alizarin crimson. That would not have worked. So, what's the forecast? It looks like a pretty bright future ahead. And that's the news. I am out of here.
I'm really proud and delighted to be here today. I flew in to Minneapolis yesterday afternoon, and what a pretty drive over from Minneapolis to Chippewa yesterday afternoon, going through the countryside and the rolling hills and the grass and the cornfields and all those trees, the Holsteins in the fields. And what other CEO knows the difference between a Holstein and a Guernsey? But anyway, it was a beautiful, beautiful drive, and for those of you from Egan, I would encourage you to take it every once in a while. For me, it's a wonderful opportunity to be involved with you. There's a certain cachet associated with the group that offers the world's fastest supercomputers, and I'm proud to be associated with it. I learned that really quickly. You know, I used to go into an account, and quite often people would wonder how I was, Silicon Graphics was any different from IBM or Digital or Sun or Hewlett-Packard, and quite often they would treat me kind of shabbily. And I was smart enough after the merger to put on my business card both the name Silicon Graphics and Cray Research. And it's amazing what happens now when I give them my card. They kind of say, ah. And then they say, well, let's talk about how we can partner, how we can work together. And that's a result of that Cray Research being on the card, and it's a wonderful thing that you've created. Now, if you think about the 20th century, really, it was kind of an American century. We're almost done with it. And it's been an American century, I think, in part because of technology. And there's no place in the world that better represents that technology than Chippewa Falls and Egan. It's been a wonderful decade that for this country has met the highest productivity in the world. It's met lots and lots of job creation. It's met the quality of life that is unmatched anywhere else in the world. And that's the 20th century. Of course, now it's time to think about the 21st century and what the 21st century is going to be like for this country and for the world. And I think in some ways that's the responsibility that we have as combined activities, is how do we set things up so that the pace of science and technology over the next 20 or 30 or 40 years can create a 21st century for this world that we really like. And I think today's products, the T3E, the T90, and the SN0, which we're getting ready to introduce shortly under some name, are just indicators of what computing might be like in the future. What I'm really interested in doing is trying to figure out what supercomputing is going to be like in the year 2010 or 2020, and moving as fast as we can to get from here to there. I know it means a lot of new codes, a lot of new ways of doing things, and I really want us to be the leader in defining that for the world. So what is the product when you multiply Cray by SGI? Certainly it's the world's fastest computers at every price point, but beyond the machines and technologies, what we fundamentally have is a new company. We now are a new company. We're one company. Our single common goal is to develop and deliver the most powerful graphical and analytical tools to the greatest minds in the world. Whether that's a customer simulating the explosion of theoretical particles, or a customer assessing the safety of a child's seatbelt, or for that matter, rendering a creature for the movie screen. Our main job is to get the best products. What's the racket, anyway? Hi, Bo.
Hello, Ed. I said we had a little more work to do, and the work we had to do today get that first T3E ready to go to Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center.
Ship it. You know, the Pittsburgh Supercomputer Center is a wonderful place, and they've worked with Cray for a long time. And many of you are wondering why. Many of you are wondering why I'm wearing this Pittsburgh Penguins shirt today. Well, it turns out that they have two customs at the Supercomputer Center there. One is they always have us, as you in manufacturing know, they have us paint the system to the Pittsburgh colors. They're black and gold. That system is black and gold. And the other is they name their system after a Pittsburgh Penguins hockey player. And so for those of you in front that can see this, this system is named after shipping is an important thing. And I really want to thank those of you in advance that are working here in manufacturing in Chippewa for the extra effort you're putting in this quarter to get the shipping rate up on the T3E and also the T90. It's really important to the company, and I really want to thank you for what you're doing. I really appreciate it. As I look at this year, I think there are 3 or 4 things that are really important. One is developing our 3-year product plan between our 2 activities. Another is to ship quality products. Another is to learn how to work together between Cray and Silicon Graphics, between Mountain View and here, but also how to work better together between Egan and Chippewa Falls. I think we need to figure out how to move into the future with our customers and to bring our customers with us. So those are the things I think that are really important to focus on this year. The marriage of our businesses is going to trigger changes in both companies. We're used to change happening at a very high rate. We've learned to roll with it. You're not strangers to change here at Cray either. It's just not always been in the positive direction. And I think now's the time to turn that around. Change is now the opportunity for the future. I just wanted to make it clear. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. Can't hear me anywhere. How about that? There are 3 or 4 things that are really important this year. One is to develop our 3-year product plan together. Another is to ship quality products. Another is to learn how to work together between Cray and Silicon Graphics, and also how to work better together between Egan and Chippewa Falls, and how to move into the future together and bring our customers with us. As I was saying, the marriage of our businesses is going to trigger changes at both companies. We're used to change happening at a very fast rate, and we've learned to kind of roll with it. Unfortunately, you here at Cray have quite often had change happen in a negative direction. I think change is now an opportunity, and one of the things I just wanted to make clear today is that I'm just as committed to every employee at Chippewa Falls and Egan as I am every employee in Mountain View, relative to your future with the company. One word of advice, as I've walked around Chippewa, the times I've been here in Egan, I've heard a lot of complaint about management not making decisions fast enough, and I think management needs to make decisions faster. But I would sure encourage, is that off again? Hello? I would sure encourage, I guess I have one word of advice, and that is don't wait for management. Don't wait for management to get your job done. I'm really pleased with the way the OS teams, the Unix teams are starting to work together. I think it's a real pleasure to see that develop as they're moving toward a cellular Unix for the future. I'm pleased at the way the compiler teams are starting to work together, and I'm pleased at the way the scalable node architecture is starting to develop for the next 5 years. We have a lot to go, but I'm pleased with the start that we have. So let's achieve as a team great things. You are an amazing group. You're in a group of intelligent, dedicated, diligent people. And together we have a vast array of resources, including the investment to create the supercomputing company and the supercomputer product line for the 21st century. It's a pleasure to be involved with you.